I have told you earlier that the example of duality is intensely and predominantly exists in your planet. Sometimes you realize the size of a thing or its emphasis when you move away from it and not when you come closer. Therefore, me too, the more I start moving away from you, start to understand a bit more clearly how wavy the energies and the roots of the energies here are. And you'll laugh when things start to be exaggerated, when tragedy is exaggerated, when emotions are exaggerated. There is nothing more natural for you laughing about it, because when things are exaggerated, you actually see that how much of an illusion these things are, how absurd they are. Crying after one that have left, having a poor life while actually being in infinite and limitless abundance, in fact, is funny and surreal. This is why it is important to be in balance, because only and only if you are in balance, you can experience the real energy of monality, the energy that is stable. If you can't stay in balance, just like the tragicomic stories that you laugh, spirituality becomes an exaggerated illusion, and its core be insignificant. Therefore, the more you make a big deal of something, the more you brighten it, the more you degrade it. Actually, the more you compromise from its core. Do you think making personal development and spirituality this much shiny, this much polished is a coincidence? Is it a coincidence that just right in the period of transition to the light, some people are coming forward? Do you think these people are chosen casually? Do you think that these people are really working for the awareness of humanity? Pay attention to the ones supporting them. Ignore them. Notice that you are not walking on the same path with them. Keep your feet on the ground. Only in this way you can spread the awareness and the balance of monality. They will ask you how fate was born on earth. They will tell you stories about how fate existed on earth. They will tell you that people were afraid of thunders. They loved sun because of its light. They were running from rain, that they created the belief systems in order to pray for the rain. But you know the truth. I told you. Souls that were born when they first came to earth were conscious souls. They were souls with high vibration. They were souls who had high waveform percentage like us. The ones who chose to stay even though forgot who they were, they never lost their faith. Remember, no soul loses its fate, because you can only lose something you had gained. You can lose a necklace, a key, but you can't lose a birthmark or your voice. It belongs to you. You exist together. Therefore, you are born with faith. What I call faith doesn't mean believing into something, in Creator, believing in existence, set hope on it, appealing to it. What we mean by faith is knowing ourselves, recognizing our own self, and bring ourself to existence, believing the existence of ourself. If you believe only in your existence, you can then believe into the existence of absolute God. And the moment your God believes its own existence, your dimension can pass to the evolvement. You are in a convoluted structure. While you are evolving, your dimension, planets, and systems evolve as well. Not everyone comes to this world to gain awareness. Sometimes souls come to this world only to have secular experiences. You think they are insignificant, but They are not insignificant. They have only chosen to live this life more secular. That is all. Birth of Eagle ritual was a ritual in a tribe in Amazons which was applied to people who are born with awareness and who allowed that sun to rise. The thing that was done for this ritual was this. When one decided to reborn with awareness, his whole body would be covered with honey, because the substances found in honey would help the skin to renovate, to cleanse and purify it from all toxins. Feathers would be put over honey. This was because eagle feathers were used for purification. This is why Indians, while incensing, would use feathers of eagle. In this way, one will be aware of all the low vibrational experiences to date and will be purified from them by taking their responsibility. At the end of the 21st hour, the honey that is on the body of the person will dry and become a skin layer. You always think that skin is stripped. Actually, in the ritual of birth of eagle, what is stripped is only and only was the second layer that was formed by hardened honey and feather. After this is removed, one would enter to deep meditation with the help of a special incense. The liquid of that spider would be drunk beside the incense. One would fall into a trance and would make his first spiritual journey and return back to his body. That is to say, actually one would reborn, just like eagles to be born in specific periods. You still are using honey wrong. You say you are using honey for healing, but you are not requesting to be healed from honey. You are using it like it was a drug or a regular jam and consuming it unnecessarily. Honey was being used in Sumerian as well. If you look at the pots left from that period, you will find traces of honey, but they were not using honey only as concentrated. They were feeding bees with opium besides flowers. This special honey was being diluted and then used, so its effect was multiplied. Do you think that these Sumerian tablets, hieroglyphs, and all other tablets were written after the events? Tablets which remained from ancient cultures were written prospectively after some rituals. They were written before they happened. Everything that was written by real priests had been realized. Some of them had written before they happened, and some of them had written after they happened. There is no tense in hieroglyphs. Honey has carrier and transformative effect. Just like opium poppy, you can carry different energies and substances with honey. Because honey joins and unites with the body very easily, very quickly, which is why honey beer is made. Commonly, tribes which have higher level of awareness adopt an insect as a symbol. The reason of choosing an insect is for grounding and at the same time to remember how micro is our size. Every community chooses an insect which exists intensely in the land in which they live, and they get support from that insect for grounding and the continuation of the following generation. The story of scarab in Egypt is this because it was the most seen insect there, and because it symbolized the continuation of the generation, they related it with immortality. Therefore, the ritual in the Karnak temple is not to get married. In fact, it is to make babies.